Reggae Boys fans, how are you all? It's that time. That time again, COVID Thursdays. My, where do we begin? Where do we begin? It's really been an intriguing last couple of days, hasn't it? In the last 7 days, a lot has happened. So much has happened in the past 7 days. Let's start, shall we? And I want to begin with an individual that I think has one of the best hearts in the national team. And an individual that would play for this country, for this. An individual that has grafted with us since 2012 and endured numerous challenges to be where he is today. And that young man is Adrian Mariappa. I know I said young. 33 is young, isn't it? Everyone knows that he received a positive test to the coronavirus, which is unfortunate. Had a chat with him yesterday and this morning as well on WhatsApp video. And he says not to worry. He's getting the treatment he deserves. He's in self-isolation and he's on the road to recovery. And that is exciting. So on behalf of Reggae Boys commentary, Reggae Boys fans, the entire island, the entire diaspora, we wish Adrian Mariappa all the best. We wish Adrian Mariappa all the best with his recovery. I'll be getting to you guys in the comments quite shortly, so feel free to drop in your questions or your opinions, and we'll get right to it. Before I move on, if anyone has an idea or know using YouTube Live, if there's an opportunity just like Instagram Live, where you can invite somebody on video-wise to have a short discussion, then you can let me know as well in the comments below. So for those just joining in on the stream, once again, good evening. Adrian Mariappa was the first area of conversation. Our skipper, especially when Andre Blake is not available or injured. Mariappa for me, since 2012, has been one of the most efficient players. I would even go as far back and say, since 2010, he's been one of our most efficient players. And if you go through his 50 appearances, 48 of them, he's given a solid 8 out of 10 performance. 7 out of 10 at worst. I can understand if you have question marks for the goal that Guyana scored in the Nations League last year. And I can understand the concerns regarding one of the goals that Costa Rica scored in our World Cup qualifier in 2016. But other than that, that man has been flawless to this country. That man sacrificed his diet so that he can prolong his career and have another go of representing Jamaica in World Cup qualifying with the hope of getting to a World Cup. I'll get to 2022 quite shortly. I haven't forgotten about that. But this is a man that said that he was going to retire at 33. But in 2017, he changed his diet. He's now a vegan, and he says he feels the fittest he ever felt, and he feels better than he was when he was an academy player, a reserves player, and when just breaking into the first team. This guy has been through every single one of our momentous moments since the start of the 2010s. Beating the United States for the first time ever at a senior level. September 7, 2012. Beating the United States for the first time ever on their home soil. Gold Cup 2015. Avoiding defeat at the mighty Azteca Stadium. He was part of that as well. Yeah. I don't believe it. That tandem that he had with Nairo Nosworthy, that was key. Because for those that have been following Jamaica's football, especially in those 2010s, look at our last 5 fixtures in 2011. We lost 5 straight. After being eliminated from the CONCACAF Gold Cup in 2011, we lost 5 straight. We lost to Ecuador. We lost to Chile. We lost to Honduras. We conceded goals for fun. Question marks over our defense. Adrian Mariappa, Nairo Nosworthy came in and steadied the ship. I know what you guys are saying in the comments. You guys look into the future and thinking about a replacement for him. And I don't have a problem with that, because I accept that this will be his last World Cup qualifying campaign. He's 33. But don't be quick to push this man off the pitch. If you hear the amount of praise that he gets from local players, it's amazing. Lamar Walker says just to speak to a player that plays in the Premier League is a breath of fresh air for him. Shamar Nicholson says the small things that he does and says makes a big difference. Shamar said that Mariappa approached him and said, just put the ball in the back of the net. And it couldn't be more simple. And look at Shamar now. From Boys Town to Sporting Charleroi in Belgium, and on the cusp of a top 5 league in Europe. Adrian Mariappa. You're a legend, sir. I might be using that term loosely, but what he has done in a short space of time is impressive. And if you hear the things that he's saying, he's different compared to past English-born players that want to represent the country, get a few caps, take a picture for Instagram. When August 6th comes around every year, them say, Happy Independence Day, Jamaica, put on the black, green and gold and say that they have a national player and it looks good on their CV. This guy is committed to the national program. And if you saw him on an Instagram live recently, you would see what he said to Chris Humphrey and company. He said, what was his goal? Not to manage a club in England, but to manage the Reggae Boys one day. I don't think he's ready for it right now. He finishes his UEFA B license. Once he finishes his pro license, then we'll have that sort of discussion. But I have no problem with him working minimum with the best young defenders in this country. Topi, Lowe, and company. Adrian Joseph Mariappa. Big up yourself, my brethren. I know you watch this channel. You're my brother for life. All right. There's another 2 issues that I would like to discuss. So I'm going to go through the comments and then I will get back to it. Simon the JFF has to become more professional if they hope to attract the best talent for Jamaica. Jamaican football is still stuck in the 90s, sadly. I had a chat with Jack Warner today too, and he said we've actually gone back 40 years because when Caribbean teams used to vote, they used to vote together, the 27 members, but now we're in separate directions. There's a division right now. Some were in favor of the Bermudan 4 years ago in 2016, and some in favor of Montaliani. Have we sold our soul? Remember, the bulk of this CONCACAF region is Caribbean teams. Have we just created a cardinal sin? 29 teams in this region were set to compete for only a playoff spot for the World Cup qualifiers. But some people brush it under the table and say, well, a Caribbean team is just going to play more games, and we view that as development. But more on that later. You can have a call in via WhatsApp, okay? Courtney Buchanan, hey man, I think you should run for the JMF presidents, both you and JFF presidency. Well, nothing happens before its time. We'll see what the future holds, but I'm enjoying my current line of work as a presenter in media. Tiffany asks, why don't you go around? What are your thoughts on JFF Bailey development situation? So part 2 compared to last week, right? So the JFF says that they're planning on sanctions, and then Bailey's management comes out and with a long statement. Could they have waited a couple of days before coming out with that statement, though? Because we don't even know what the sanction is going to be. Dalton Winter, the Gensec, is yet to say if it's going to be a fine, a slap on the wrist, or a different type of sanction. We're not sure what the sanction will be. You know what I'm saying? And the second thing is, from the other perspective, I do not have an issue with what Leon Bailey said on Instagram Live. I have zero issue with it. There's some things that he said that was inaccurate and some things that were true. What I said that I don't have an issue with is what he's alluding to be sanctioned for. That if we don't make World Cup, then it's going to be down to the JFF. There's some right and wrong to that as well, because at the end of the day, it comes down to performances on the pitch. It's the top 3 teams from the region that qualify for the World Cup. It's not the best run football administration. You understand me? But I understand what he's saying in terms of friendly matches, practice, etc. And as I've said last week, my issue is that Bailey spoke about chopping and changing of players, etc. My thing is this. I don't have a problem with looking at players, but my thing is, when Tapa took the job in 2016, Jamaica were already eliminated from 2018 World Cup qualifiers. So why from then did we not bring in the players that we needed? Because we still have 5 or 6 players that are still yet to make their international debut for Jamaica that are going to be part of our squad eventually. So my thing is, why weren't those players involved at the Gold Cup of 2017, 2019, Caribbean Cup 2017, friendly matches in between that? Why weren't they called up from then? That way, leading into the qualifiers, you would be seasoned and putting on the final pieces of the puzzle, perhaps looking at 1 or 2 new faces, but you'd at least know the squad that you would have. So that's my concern. Mariappa soda for Jamaica for real? Yep. What club do you think Damien Lowe will join? One in Europe. There's interest in Champions League and Europa League clubs currently. But I think it's going to be one of the top 5 leagues in Europe. David Nicholson, can we do a quiz? Yes, we can. We can do a quiz. Is Ivan Toney eligible for Jamaica? Can we call him up? His mother is Jamaican, so he is eligible. Yeah, King Koza said it right. 2013, we're playing Panama, we're leading 1-0. Marvin Elliott heads us in, boom, 1-0. And then Buzzworthy tears his ACL. And the same head coach then is the same head coach now. An essential defender who got injured was replaced by Omar Daly and pushed to right back. And you have Lloyd Doyley, a man that played over 300 games for Adrian Mariappa at Watford, left on the bench. And Mariappa and Lloyd Doyley played loads of games at central defence together. And yet, the man that was brought on the park was Omar Daly, and Jermaine Taylor shifted to central defence. Not a role that he's not familiar with, but there was a better tandem, cohesion, chemistry between Mariappa and Lloyd Doyley. Anyways, Alvis Powell should move to Europe. He's wasting his time in MLS. He's 25 now. So the thing is, though, he's on some serious wages. So Europe is going to have to fork out that money. Topi, Lambert, Walker, Flemings should be playing in England. I agree to all of them. Flemings, not ready for Premier League level, but I do think he has the ability to play in England for sure. We should recruit Sol Campbell or Darren Moore as a new manager coach for Jamaica. Darren Moore has not ruled this out in the long-term future, but right now he's concentrating on getting Doncaster Rovers promoted to the Championship. What do you think about Leon Bailey's comments? There are certain things that I think were correct and incorrect, as I stated earlier. The comments that he stated that were correct, as I said, was about the points about to some degree, about new players that you see in every game. I mean, the squad that Leon Bailey had in the Gold Cup compared to the Nations League, you can see there's a number of changes, you know? So there's areas that have to be fixed. Edmund Hall came late. What do you think about what Bailey said? No issue about what he said regarding. So he's pointing the blame at the JFF if Jamaica doesn't qualify for the World Cup. In part, it would be the JFF's responsibility because they prepare the team, give them per diems, arrange flights, accommodation, etc. So there's a partial blame. But at the end of the day, it's the players that have to go out and execute. They're the ones that get the points home, away, and across the region. If we get a Caribbean Pro League, EA Sports will more likely select for FIFA games. Logistically, it's still a problem. We still have some things, especially with airlines. I'm not sure if you guys have ever been on Liat before or Caribbean Airlines. There are still challenges when it comes to punctuality, leaving flights on time. I'll give you an example. I was with the team for the Caribbean Cup in 2017, and I was traveling from Martinique to go back to Jamaica. Do you know how much flights I went on? Martinique to Guadeloupe, Guadeloupe to the Dominican Republic, to the Dominican Republic to the Turks and Caicos Islands, and the Turks and Caicos Islands to Jamaica. 4 flights, and Martinique is right over there, and Jamaica is right over here. And I had to go on 4 flights. 4 flights, you know. Yeah, the Caribbean, there's still more to be done in logistics. There's still more opportunities where we can have non-stop flights to certain destinations or stop off. You stay in the plane for half an hour and go to the next destination. There's better things that can be done. Well, Leon Bailey is still going to be part of the squad. Well, we'll see what the future holds, but I think he will be. We will see. Yeah, Craig said that there wasn't a contractual agreement. Yeah, FIFA statutes spoke about Article 3 about freedom of speech, but I'm not sure the fine print about the freedom of speech means with media, social media usage, because FIFA has very specific notes where that is concerned. So I'd have to look back on it. If social media and specific traditional media broadcast, it's different because he's not speaking with traditional media. He was having a general discussion with a brethren, you know? And I'm sure he didn't think that this would blow up. Jamie Lawrence, Hennings, Denzel Hall should be playing first. Them and Jam Topi are the future of Jamaican football. They'll certainly be the core players. There are better players out there when I bring them in. I've been saying that from 2016, my friend. What about Mikel Antonio? This guy is still dreaming about playing for England. Still. Mariappa, same of the core of the team already. Lowest 27 after 2026 World Cup. We may need to get rid of him, or maybe 2030. Simon, what happens off the field is just as important as what happens on it. The JFF has been stumbling up in Jamaican football development for years. There are a number of facets to what you just said. The performance of the pitch has been affected, and there's clear evidence to suggest that better preparation, better morale in teams, and all of these elements could be improved. Players need to go to Europe, USL easy. What about Jay Dunkley? Well, he has a Jamaican passport now, so that's progress. That is progress. Travis, you're funny, you know. The money stabs. I don't think Jamil Matt should be considered. We have Orgil, Mattox, Nicholson, and possibly Gray as a striker. And it's not like Matt is a top player in League Two. He offers a different dimension. So that's why I said I don't mind having him part of the pool. It's 0-0, 85 minutes, and you just want to have that option, you know. Playing against Mexico 0-0, 85th minute, win a corner kick. This guy will leapfrog every single one of Mexico's players. So that's why I just say as an option, I don't mind having him. Which club Damien Lowe going? He's been very tight-lipped about it. Nico Bertini call for World Cup qualifiers. I just hope it's not another Dane Kelly situation where this guy is bang, 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 banging goals, and we call him up at the end of that purple patch. Yeah. Kemar Roof. All right. So, Roland Aarons need more game time. Yeah, there's Jamaican passport now, so that is also progress. So there's some comments that have been circulating about what I've said on the previous edition of Corona Thursdays. I said that I think that would qualify for 2026 and that I wasn't sure for 2022. So I'll clarify what I said. I agree, and I'm not changing that statement. If CONCACAF gets their promised 6 spots for 2026, then Jamaica will be in the 2026 World Cup. Regarding 2022, which is the next tournament, I honestly believe with the current crop that we have, say we don't call up any new players, then we can perhaps squeeze a playoff spot. But I'm not sure if we can get into the top 3. Honesty is the best policy, guys. Just being as frank as I can. If the core remains the same, if we call up the same squad that we had at the Gold Cup in 2017 and 2019, then 4th is what we'll get. Before I get to more of your comments, I want to touch one more thing. One more thing before opening it up to you. So as you know, Coach Whitmore took over in 2016 for another stint. In that time, 23 wins, 10 losses, and 8 draws. 16 of those 23 wins came up against CFU countries. But for me, what is head scratching, those other 7 victories, it almost appears like there's a hidden asterisk around it. Beating Mexico at the Gold Cup in 2017. Mexico carried their C squad at the Gold Cup. Yes, you have to beat who is put in front of you, but Mexico carried a 3rd string squad to that Gold Cup. The friendly win over the United States last year. The United States did not field a player over the age of 23. Yes, you have to play who they're put in front of you, but still, doesn't this concern you, Reggae Boys fans? It almost seems like there's an asterisk when we get victories against more traditional teams in the region. Let's go to 2017. Jamaica won, Honduras 0. Honduras played their Olympic squad, an under 23 squad. You follow me? I hope you all are. Jamaica 2, Canada 1, Gold Cup 2017. Canada going through a period of transition. No Alfonso, no Jonathan David back then. They had Hoylett, they had Alfonso, but it was still a team in transition. Beat a number of Caribbean teams, but the big results always have an asterisk beside it, which is concerning, which to many is shocking. Hmm. 23 wins and 16 against CFU nations. Just let that sink in. Yeah. You know, I've heard the name Anthony Stewart for so long now, from 2012. Yeah, can be part of the pool, but I'm not ready to say, yeah, let's call him up, but certainly one that you keep an eye on, for sure. Tampa getting results and reach final round again the second time, hoping can cross the line. The money stubs, we either need Gale or Gray, one of them, not both. But if you ask me which one, I would say Demar or Gray, of course. Jamaica had a good run in the 2015 Gold Cup. 2015. Yeah, but guess what? Tapa wasn't the coach, it was Schaefer. Let's see what else you guys have been saying. The key will be qualifying for the World Cup. Ultimately, that's what Tapa will be judged on. I don't think he has the physical capabilities to play at that level. The ball spins all the time in the air. I guess you're referring to Jamil Matt. If Tyreek McGee, Lamar Walker fulfill their potential, who will fulfill the attacking mid positions? If they fulfill it, then those individuals will keep those roles, won't they? Absolutely. But even as a stopgap, I wouldn't mind a Lewis McGugan just in the immediate future. But we're going through a global pandemic, and the next time we kick a ball, who knows who's going to be in form, you know? Will there be players that lose that sharpness, ability? It's all left to be seen. That next level, that next step. So I'll end this video on this. At the 2002 World Cup in Japan and South Korea, the Republic of Ireland had some challenges. The very vocal, vivacious and riveting Roy Keane had an issue as Republic of Ireland departed for the 2002 World Cup. The president, the general secretary, the administrators were all sitting in first class while the players were in economy. Roy Keane got up and said it should be the reverse. Where are the players going out on the pitch? Is that something that can happen in Jamaican football soon? Secondly, the logistics of working out itineraries that are easy on the body of players. Remember, we're talking about professional football players. We're not talking about amateurs. We're talking about professionals. The travel itinerary that Daniel Johnson had you can understand why he was frustrated not to come here. Remember, he was playing for Preston, so he would have to travel down to Manchester and fly from Manchester Airport. So it would be that itinerary he had: Manchester to London, London to New York, New York to Miami, Miami to Kingston. Do you know which flights that is? Honestly, that can be condensed to at most 2 flights. You can say, Danielle, take the train down to London and take the flight to Kingston. Boom, 1 flight, you know? Give him the train money to go on the train from up north, from Manchester to London, go to Heathrow Airport or Gatwick, and bam, you're in Jamaica in 9 hours. Will we reach a stage where our players aren't arriving for international duty 24 hours before kickoff? Gentlemen, we have a long way to go. We do. It's going to take time, energy, but I'll leave it on this note. Success is determined not by whether or not you face obstacles in life, but by your reaction to them. Nothing happens before its time. Nothing in life happens before its time. So whether it is 2022 or 2026, we'll be there. We'll be on the global stage soon again. Will it be 2022? I have my reservations. But if we field our best possible 11, then the FIFA rankings can look quite different after this pandemic. Quite different. Just remember that. Reggae Boys fans, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Really appreciate you coming on the live. Please, in the comments, let me know ideas that you'd like for the Corona Thursdays. If on YouTube it gives you the opportunity to speak live to fans or anything like that, I'd appreciate it greatly. Reggae Boys fans. I see some comments about Reece Brown, the younger brother of former Man United boss Wes Brown. Guyana is currently in discussions with him. Take care, Reggae Boys fans. More to come. Stay safe. Be careful. Get a haircut. And I'll see you all in the next one.